I've just been slack-lined. Oh, it's a beast. Oh. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. For the eagle-eyed amongst you, you'll see I'm back at the same harbour, third time in a row. I just, because I'm greedy and I want to catch fish. I've caught fish here the last 2 times in different conditions, so I figure why not come back and just catch some more fish, right? It's like really nice spot, you know. There's there's like there's like a chippy just over there, and there's all sorts of facilities, and it's a really easy walk from the car park. So I thought, why not? You know, I just they say you should fish your mark in all sorts of different conditions until you really learn it, you know, and then you'll know whether or not it's worth going on any given day. So I've chosen, I guess, this harbour to fish, to keep fishing until I stop catching fish. Yeah, just learning the spot. Fingers crossed I get another fish. If I don't, the next video you'll see me, well, you won't see this video if I don't get any fish. Yeah, if it's not that great tonight, then, you know, I'll probably try a different spot. Anyway, I'll go get my gear sorted out, and yeah, I'll bring you back. All right, so there's 2 guys up on the harbour wall. They've given me a bit of advice, saying that just off the end here is actually getting washed over by waves already. And they've moved despite getting into a couple of fish, so I might chance it here for a couple of casts. If I start getting too wet, I'll of course move, but yeah, in the event that it's tolerable, I think I'll stay. I like to keep I'll show you this actually. I just keep a bit of elastic and a rig clip on the frame of a multiplier. That way you never have to faff about with you know, a tape, or you know, the lines springing out all over the place. I find it quite useful. So, this is the rig. It's 6 ounce, I think, 6 ounce lead, 12 pound rod and bottom, and the rod and bottom clip just there like that, so when you cast it's clipped up. It's just one piece of mono, I think it's 70 pound mono, and then it's just a swivel bead, figure of 8 knot. I wonder if you can see that, figure of 8 knot. And then yeah, just yeah, braid dingle dangle with a glow bead on a perfection loop. Pretty simple. It doesn't even clip up. I'm not fishing anywhere that needs all that distance, so I don't even bother clipping it up. I'm actually gonna do the bag up, because I know that when the waves wash over, sometimes the water can dump like along here. So yeah, the last thing I want is my bag full of water. It's waterproof, so the water's not going anywhere. This is just a bit of wire I use. I quite like it because the circle hook can slip up here like that, and you can bind the dingle dangle on. This is just a bit of wire. I think it's 1.6 mil marine grade steel wire. Yeah. First things first, just get some of this cart on. So I'll just get the bait elastic started. Not too tight. That, and then calamari like that. Now I will start trying to make a nice sausage shape out of all of it. There you go. Bang that on, and then we'll see what I mean now. But I'll put the circle through some of the calamari. Just get a couple turns on. So now if you can see this. I hope you can see this. So the circle hook's quite wide, but it can sit like that between this baiting tool, right? Like that. And what you can then do is, let me just balance down a little bit. What you can do, right, is you can bring the bait elastic around the shank or the bend, up and down a couple times. Back up, and then back around, you see? This way it's not going to slip off. And back around, and this time I'm going to go up and around a couple of times. That way when everything starts to wash out, because I've gone like this, up and around a couple of times, when it starts to wash out, the bait will actually collapse in on itself. Slightly, which means when the fish comes to grab it, instead of it being like thin and washed out and maybe hanging off the end of the dongle, it's going to like continue to compact down and still be near the hook. That's my theory anyway. I have retrieved, my bait on a dingle dangle where it's been sort of like bunched up towards the bottom a little bit, and of course fish are going to get that in their mouth, have a play around with it, feel the resistance, and eventually spit the hook. So keeping it up near the hook is a good idea, especially when it's a soft bait that's going to wash out. So that's why I like to go around a couple of times. I'll just actually go over my cast. I've never actually really talked about it. I'm just doing like a very relaxed X cast. So it's just kind of like I'm just swinging it out, and then I'm just putting the lead in the right spot to do what is essentially a ground cast. I find it a lot more consistent than trying to do a pendulum in the wind. So it's just swing out a bit, swing it back, tip down, pull with the left, and off it goes. All right. Okay. Reliable. I find it very reliable. When you're fishing with a multiplier, you really do want reliable. Something that you can, change the power on and have a bit of accuracy with. Last thing you want is any sort of mishap causes you to birdie, because that's you messing about trying to get a new reel on or whatever, wasting time not fishing. So yeah, that's also why I run my multipliers so slow. I've got two brake blocks, two red brake blocks in here, and I've got some slow, I think it's 80 watt gear oil in the bearings. It's an incredibly slow multiplier, and I never birdie with it. I know people probably say that's bollocks, or I will eventually birdie. It's probably true, my thumb will slip at some point, but so far in the entire season, not a single birdie. And I don't foresee there being one, because I'm casting out a big unclipped bait into a 30-mile-an-hour headwind, and I'm not even seeing line lift, right? That's how slow this thing's running. Anyway, let's set a timer. I'm going to give this one 20 to 30 minutes. 20 minutes if I see some taps, and 30 minutes if it's just completely dead like it is now. Don't know if you'll be able to see that, but the water, it's a nice sounded like some on the ladder. Yeah, look at that water. It's kind of brown, a bit murky, which is exactly what you want. So fingers crossed, that's a good omen. All right, we've got a bite developing. It's a circle hook, and it's quite a long, so there's really no point in me trying to strike. When I see a little bit more indication that he's still there on the rod tip, then I'll make a move. But otherwise, I'm just gonna relax. All right, we've got a better bite. Here we go. It's swimming towards me. Yep, swimming towards me. No wonder it was swimming towards me so fast. Looks like a, well, it's a nice little coley. I'm gonna get that unhooked and put straight back, to be honest. Wow, that's actually quite a nice coley. All right, there you go. First fish, first cast fish, little 1 pound coley. I'm gonna put him straight back. I don't usually tend to keep coleys. They're usually quite small like this. So yeah, not much meat on them anyway. So I'll torpedo him back into the water. Yeah, and I'll get another bait out. He's off. I'm just gonna go to the left, to the right. There you go. Okay, so that's the second bait in the water. Hopefully I haven't got the curse of the first cast fish and I see a few more bites. Yeah, I'm gonna give it another half hour here. The swell's coming over the side, as you can see. And as the tide starts to push faster and faster, that'll be coming on more and more. So it probably won't be too safe. Or it might be, I don't know, we'll have to see. And then, yeah, if I get pushed off here, I'm gonna go over to the harbour wall over on that side. Anyway, I'll bring you back if anything happens with this cast. I've just been slack-lined and I'm seeing some action on the rod tip. Feels like it could be a good fish. Yeah, this feels like a better fish. I'm gonna pump and wind this one. I'll be embarrassed if it's small. Maybe it's just getting washed around in the swell. All right, he's out of feet. Let's get him. Got a leader. Oh, it's a beast. Oh. All right, it's looking like 5 or 6 pounds, maybe more. Jeez, look at the size of his head. All right, just taking that circle a bit deep. All right, you see I was taking that quite deep. I'm gonna put him out of his misery. Because that's a decent fish. I do want to weigh it. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful condition for a fish this size. This is as big as I would take for the table. Yeah, fantastic. All right, I'll put it in my fish bag and I'll have another cast here and I'll get it weighed. I'll get it weighed when I go to pack up and move across. All right, great. There's the bait. It's in good enough condition to just have a quick another cast back out, I think. Nice and gentle out, in. All right. Yeah, it was looking pretty good, that bait, you know, everything was still intact. And if the fish are there, the fish are there, so I'll just put it straight back out again. So yeah, fingers crossed, the fish that were moving in are still moving in. And we get another one, great. I'll bring you back if anything happens. All right, I've had to beat a hasty retreat behind this corner of the harbour wall. As you can see, my rod tip, you know, that's a Zziplex HST Evo, and even that's getting rattled by the wind, and the swell that's picking up, and the water's starting to come over, you know, fairly often now, and when it does, it's about twice as high as me. So yeah, I thought I'd hide behind this harbour wall. Getting a bit greedy now, you know, maybe there's a second big fish out there. So yeah, I'm gonna give this I'll give that half washed out bait like another 10 minutes so we get to the 20. And then, yeah, I've caught my fish for the evening, to be honest. You know, any more would be a bit greedy. So I might go and get it weighed by some of the anglers on the other side of the harbour here, and call it quits for the night, call it early. You know, it's only myself to feed at the moment. I got that 4-pounder from the other night, and now I've got this absolutely massive fish, you know, for myself again. So that'll be me eating fish all week. Yeah, that'll be me on fish all week. I'll be sick of it by the end. Let's have a look. Nope, just a massive bit of seaweed. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pack up. I'm gonna head down there, see if anyone's got a set of scales. All right. I've had a bit of brainwave here. I'm going to see if the chippy will weigh it for me, if it's still open. It's actually quite, look at that. It's quite a festive car. Okay, no dice. That's fine. I'm going to go down the harbour wall. I can see some anglers, maybe they got some scales. Okay, so a little bit of a disaster. That angler didn't have a set of scales that worked. The other two guys are packed up, so it's just me. I went into the chippy to ask them to weigh it, but you know, they weren't interested. So what I'm probably going to do is going to head to my buddy's house. He's got a set of scales, and get it weighed there. And yeah, I don't know. I might give some of this away. You know, it's too much fish for me. Yeah, I'll bring you back when we got the scales out. So that's the end of the session. I've actually given the fish to my friend. We're gonna have it for tea, maybe Monday, Tuesday, and got a cinnamon roll in exchange for the fish, which is a pretty good deal. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you again soon in Thailand.